Okay, hi everybody. Welcome again to another English class here on verbling.com. My name is Lisa and I am one of the English teachers here at Verbling. And in this hour, we're going to be having a speaking class. So if you want to use your English, practice your English, improve your English, this hour is a good class for you. Now, it did say that the class was fully booked, but I don't know if anybody is really going to show up. So I want to see you guys come into class, and you do that by clicking on the Join Class button, which should be up there. If you did make a reservation, then you always have the first 2 minutes to join the class. And if you don't join the class in the first 2 minutes using your reservation, then of course the reservation goes away, and anybody who is a Verbling member or who has bought classes or who is on the free trial membership can join. So if you want to join, come on in and we can get started as soon as we start getting some people into the class. For those people who might be new to Verbling, maybe you're searching the web and you're looking for a way to practice your English and improve your English, one of the best things about Verbling is that you're able to take English and also Spanish. If you're working on Spanish, some students are working on English and Spanish. We have lots of people on Verbling who speak multiple languages, so they're very committed to language learning. So we have some great students on Verbling, and this is the way it works. I'm going to talk about it a little bit while I'm waiting for people to join. So Verbling is a website for language learning. There are a couple of different parts to Verbling. The main part, and of course one of the ways that Verbling makes money so it can exist, so we can offer you this service, is to have a membership, and you get to take as many classes as you want, English, Spanish. We also have tutoring, private tutoring. So every teacher offers some hours throughout the week of private tutoring, and you can buy packages to save a little bit of money, or you can just sign up for 1 hour at a time. That's a really good option if you want to work one-on-one with somebody. Maybe you want to prepare for a job interview or a test or something like this, and you want just that one-on-one interaction so you have a lot of time to ask your questions, speak, make corrections, things like this. So I'm going to say hi to Carolina now. Hi. Hi, Carolina.
How are you doing?
Good. I just like to do my little introduction until somebody comes, but then when somebody comes, I really don't need to do that anymore. So.
But the class is full.
Well, you know, it said
It's supposed to be full.
It's supposed to be, but I don't know if people have been just doing that and not showing up, or if there's some kind of a glitch in the system.
I was waiting the 2 minutes to come in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, wow. I don't know, because some other teachers have mentioned that their classes said fully booked, but then only a few people showed up. So it was confusing, because when you see fully booked, you think, oh, okay, 9 students will be here, you know. But you never know. So, yeah. You know, lots of people are very busy, and you might want to come to a class, and so you click the reservation, and then later something happens and you realize, you know, you can't make it or something. That's why the reservations go away after 2 minutes. So people can really come in if they really want to. So let me just ask you, how's Brazil? How are the elections going? I hear there's going to be a second round with Dilma and Aécio.
Yes, the election was very tight,
very tight, yeah.
Very tight.
Very close, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very close.
Mm-hmm.
And the result it's very uncertain. Uncertain,
yeah.
Uncertain here, because the difference between the two candidates is too small. I don't know who will win the polls. Every time gives a different result. It's very unpredictable.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah. I haven't been following like the recent campaigning, so I don't know, but here in the United States, sometimes towards the end of the campaigning time, it can get a little bit aggressive, like people saying negative things about the other side. Is that happening also in Brazil?
Yes, yes. Here we call it as a fair campaign. Fear
Yeah.
campaign? Fear campaign.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
So it happens here
Okay, yeah.
often.
Here we have a word for it. It's called mud slinging. So it's like you're throwing mud at the other candidate. It means you're saying something bad, like 5 years ago, my opponent, had sex with a teenage girl, something like this. And
Okay.
so they do crazy stuff like that, or, smoked marijuana, or, cheated on his taxes or something like that. So they try to find anything that would make people go against that person. So, yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. We have what, like another week or two or something?
Yes.
2 weeks maybe? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Interesting. Okay, David. Hi, David. You're back?
Hi, Lisa. It's nice to see you again.
Yeah. Good to have you back. And Hussein, you have your new account here. Hi there.
Yeah, hello, Lisa.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
All right.
Everything's okay.
Good. All right. Well, let me just tell you guys, in the last hour, David was with me, and Hussein, you were following along a little bit and having some talks with Anna. And
Yeah.
we read an article about a habit, a 30-second habit that has been an interesting practice for that. This person who wrote the article, she learned about it from a guy who was really successful. And it was a simple habit of just taking 30 seconds to write down some of the most important things that you heard after you have listened to like a speech or a lecture or a lesson or a meeting or talking to your friends, maybe even something like this. You just take a minute and write down what you thought were the most important parts. And so that is like a habit. So a habit is something that you do a lot. And we have lots of habits, because if we didn't, it would be like doing something new every single moment, right? Like brushing your teeth, it would be like, oh, I'm brushing my teeth for the first time. But no, it's not like that. We have a habit of usually when we brush our teeth, when we take a shower, when we do certain things. So I thought in this hour we would talk about habits, and maybe we have some good habits and maybe we have some bad habits. But I want to make a distinction. Habit is not necessarily something you do every day. It's just something that you do a lot, like often, and maybe it's something that you do every time you watch this TV show. You notice you eat chips. You have a habit of eating chips or something like this. So it could be related to when you do something else. Every time you're visiting your mom, you do this. It's like a habit to do that same thing every time, or almost every time. It doesn't have to be exactly every time. It's just a habit you're into. So I have this website here, which we've gone to a lot for different types of questions and things that help us with our conversation. And so we're going to go through some of these, maybe not, probably for sure, not all of them. But first of all, let me just ask you guys the first question. Do you think, I'm going to say do you think, do you think that you have any bad habits? And if you do, what would be an example of a bad habit that you have? So, Carolina, why don't you go first?
It's difficult to tell, but I think a bad habit. Sometimes I think I eat too much sweets.
That's exactly what I'm writing right here in the chat.
and I feel guilty after eating so many sweets. So I think it's that can be considered a bad habit.
Yeah.
And sometimes I am lazy to I feel lazy to work out, practice sports, and after I feel guilty too.
Yeah, that's part. It kind of goes hand in hand with the bad habits. Is guilt, feeling guilty
Yes.
afterwards. Yeah, I would say that in the past couple of years, I have gotten into the habit of wanting dessert after dinner. I didn't have that habit several years ago, but in the last 5 years or so, I have gotten into that habit. Uh, yeah, after I finish dinner, I'm not even hungry necessarily, but I say, "What's for dessert?" It's like a treat.
I'm not used to eat a dessert every time, but about 3 hours after lunch,
Mm-hmm.
I I like to eat some sweets.
Mm-hmm.
And I
That
know that's not very healthy, but I try to don't eat every day. But a candy, a chocolate, I need.
Yeah, yeah.
Afternoon
Okay.
snack. That's the name. Afternoon snack. Okay.
Yeah, afternoon snack. That's very common, especially for people who work. Here in the U.S., the schedule is usually something like 9 to 5. That's a typical work day, and so many people have their lunch usually between like noon and 1. They might have 1 hour, they might have just a half an hour, but somewhere around there they have a lunch. So yeah, like around 3 or 4, they're
Yes,
ready for a
usually.
snack. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and usually the snack is not like vegetables or something. It's like a cookie, or chocolate or
yeah,
soda.
yes, yes.
Yeah, we call it a pick me up. So sometimes it's like we want to eat something that will give us some energy. Some people have a coffee at that time of day or tea or something. Uh, it's like you have a dip in your energy. Your energy kind of goes down a little bit, and so I think people tend to want to eat something.
And the problem that I have in my drawer
Mm.
a lot of I always have in my drawer in my work
Yeah.
um, some kind of sweetie
Uh-huh.
to this moment.
Yeah. So you're ready.
Yes, yes. I buy these things once a week.
Oh, yeah.
Put it in my drawer.
Uh-huh. So that's your habit right there. Buying something once a week is a habit, and you put it in your drawer, and then you're ready for it. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, David, do you have any bad habits?
Yeah, of course, Lisa. What,
Well,
for
give us an
example,
example. Yeah.
well, I was thinking, for example, could be for me that is bad that I used to go to bed very late,
Mm.
very late in the evening. So I think it's very bad because at the next morning, at the other day,
Yeah.
I wake up, but I don't feel very well. So I feel
Mm.
that I feel that I need to sleep more hours. And yeah, I think it's not very good because when I have to get a job, I will be in trouble for that.
Yeah, you'll have to switch your time schedule
My
around.
clock. Yeah, I have
Yeah.
to. The clock is disorganized.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's definitely something that contributes to habits is kind of like your lifestyle. So like if you're working or if you're a student or if you're a parent, those kinds of things might change your life so that you get into new habits.
Ah,
So some students, they have the habit of staying up really late, studying, that kind of
and
thing.
spending time on internet is.
Yeah.
is the reason. Could be
Yeah.
one of the reason.
That's probably on the top of the bad habits list for a lot of people these days. Spending too
Uh-huh.
much time on Facebook or on YouTube or something like that. Definitely. I mean, certainly a certain amount of that's perfectly okay, but it's when you go too far, too much time, and maybe you're not getting other things done or something. Yeah. Well, Hussein, what about you? Do you have any bad habits?
I don't know, Lisa, right now, but I think I used to have, which was smoking,
Oh, uh-huh.
maybe 4 years ago or something, and I don't smoke anymore.
Hmm.
And maybe I have the same bad habit, eating chocolate, a lot of chocolate or
A
sweet
lot of
things.
too much chocolate, yeah.
Especially you were eating a lot of chocolate after dinner. It was like a habit, and I think I do it. I still do it
Yeah, yeah,
or eat
yeah.
something.
Right.
I eat
So,
a lot of
go ahead.
not very good. Um, yeah, I
Yeah, we
say
say,
it's not very healthy, I know, but I don't know. I eat that.
uh-huh. Yeah, sometimes we have the saying
Hello?
too much of a good thing. So chocolate is good, but maybe sometimes you have too much chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi. Hi, Alexandra. How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Glad you joined us. We're
Yeah.
we're just starting off with this first question you see up there, and we want to know: do you have any bad habits?
Me?
Yeah, yeah, it's your turn because you just came in and everybody else already went.
As any living human being, of course, I do have bad habits.
Give us an example.
My first, I would call it guilty pleasure.
Okay.
My guilty pleasure is coffee.
Oh, okay.
I'm a coffee addict.
Yeah.
I wish I could cut down on coffee, but no.
No.
The other bad habit you can see it from my nickname. I don't mean that I suffer from insomnia, but I usually go to bed very late, and I would say that verbling contributes a lot to this bad habit.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you, Alexandra, did you always drink, like, when did you start drinking coffee and how did it become a habit for you?
Phew, I don't remember really. I don't remember, but mm, coffee, I like latte very much, and maybe you get um, addicted to it because of morning situations. Because
Waking up?
I'm yes, waking up because I'm more of an night owl.
Yeah.
And I don't like mornings, but of course, like the majority of human beings, you have to wake up early to go to work. And
Yep.
for me, it's a disaster. So coffee is kind of, reviving you.
Yes. So
Um,
instead of changing your habit and going to bed earlier, you have a habit of waking up with coffee. We could say.
yeah.
That's good. I think that's true for a lot of people. Um, and what about the habit of going to bed late? Did that like start when you were a teenager, or when did that start?
Yes, it started during my school years because I was usually assigned with lots of homework.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, and that's why I used to stay up late
Mhm.
doing my tasks, and I think it how to say, grew into or evolved
Yeah, evolved. Yeah.
evolved into a habit.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, you could say either one of those. It grew into a habit, or I grew into the habit of doing that, or it evolved. Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah. I think that's how things start out. Like Catalina. How did you start out with your habit of sweets in the afternoon? Did it start like slowly when you started working, or how long have you been doing that habit?
I think that started when I started to work. I think because I can't remember since why I have this desire of eating something sweet in the afternoon, but I think maybe that's why. That's the reason.
Yeah. Yeah, some people think, sometimes if you're living through a stressful time period in your life, sometimes you start new habits, things that you didn't used to do, but now you start doing them just because you're stressed out or something, and you start doing it, and it makes you feel better, and so then you just keep having that habit. So
Could be,
could be.
but sometimes I like to eat sweet just because I like it.
Yeah, right. Who doesn't? Yeah, cool.
Sugar calls me.
Sugar calls you. All right, good. All right, I'm gonna ask you guys this question. Some of these are just like kind of yes or no or something. But has anybody ever bitten your nails? Has that ever been a habit that you've had, to bite your nails? Some people do it and some people don't. Catalina, have you ever done that?
No, I don't.
No?
No.
David, what about you? Maybe not as adults, but sometimes it's more a habit when you're a kid. I don't know. David, did you ever bite your nails?
Yeah, it's embarrassing for me, but when I am anxious and I feel a little bit nervous,
Uh-huh.
yes, I beat my nails, but I don't eat it.
Yeah, you
Just bite.
spit it out.
Because it's like, I know it's because I feel nervous, and it's like my way to feel more relaxed in that moment.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Definitely, some people do and some people don't. Hussein, do you ever bite your nails? Or did you in the past, maybe?
I don't bite my nails, but I remember that my little sister used to bite her nails, and I was like, "Don't do that." I was always saying, "Don't do that. Why do you bite
Yeah.
your nails?" I think, and it seems very bad while someone does that. It makes me feel like saying, "Don't do that. Don't do that."
Like you're their parent or something. Yeah. Yeah, usually parents or maybe teachers might say, "Don't do that," Maybe they think your nails are going to be messed up, or I don't know what, but yeah. Sometimes people, like you said, David, some people I think do it because it's if you're nervous. It's kind of we have different types of habits, and so one of them is called like a nervous habit. It's the thing you do when you get nervous or scared or worried. Some people bite their nails. Some people like rub their hands together. Some people rub their legs. Some people, they walk back and forth a lot in their house or something, So different people have different types of nervous habits. Alexandra, did you ever bite your nails?
No.
No. Do you have any nervous habits? Like if you notice that you're nervous, maybe for whatever reason, do you do something while you're nervous like that? Like
I don't know. Maybe you. I mean, maybe I roll the pen. Like
what?
you roll the pen, or you play with the pen.
Oh yeah. Okay, I was gonna show. Yeah. So like I'm gonna turn on my camera so you can see. So like you're playing with something maybe. Like if you're nervous, you find something to like play with or something.
You find
Okay.
an object, a pen, a pencil, anything small, and you try to
Yeah, I was gonna see if I have a pen like that. Yeah, some people. Well, I don't have a pen right here, but yeah. So different nervous habits could be things like, you know, like if you have a pencil, you start hitting it somewhere, like you're nervous and you're thinking, okay. Or if you have one of those pens that you might sit there and do this a lot while you're nervous. Or some people chew, like especially kids. Sometimes if they have long hair, they chew on their hair, suck on their hair. Girls do that. And I think even a lot of people have kind of a nervous habit of kind of like fixing their hair. Like my son, he's always like this. You know, like he's fixing hair or something like that. And I think he does it when he's a little bit nervous. So I don't know, Carolina, do you have any nervous habits? You know, some people like rub their hands. You know, when they get nervous, they sit there like this.
I think I do like Alexandra. I think I do like her.
Uh-huh.
I like to or sometimes I shake my feet.
Oh yeah, yeah. Shaking your feet.
I sit down, but my feet are shaking.
Yeah, I do that too sometimes. My legs, like bouncing my leg up and down, you know. So depends on what type of nervousness it is, I guess. David, do you have any nervous habits besides the nail biting?
Besides that,
Yeah.
when I feel, I don't know, a little bit uncomfortable,
Yeah.
or well, maybe I what? I use my cell phone and I try to entertain with my cell phone.
Hussein, do you have any nervous habits that you do?
Yeah, I think when I get nervous, I cannot control a part of my face a bit, like it goes up and down.
Like a
Near to my nose.
Yeah, we call that like a little twitch. Sometimes somebody has a twitch, or even like a little tick. Sometimes we don't notice. That's kind of like an unconscious habit. All right. It's not on here, I don't think, but I'm kind of using some of these and some of these not. What is another habit that somebody you know does that you don't like that they do? What would be like a habit that somebody maybe you know, like a coworker or a friend or like a brother or sister, and you just can't stand that they do that? Alexandra, do you have any habits that you just can't stand when people do? I'm thinking of this one because, you know, somebody like, I don't know, like somebody has a habit of spitting, like where was that one? Spitting on the street or burping or, you know, stuff like that. I don't know. Does that bother you? Do other people's habits bother you, Alexandra?
Uh-huh. When people sip liquids, I mean, it's like...
Oh, yeah, with a straw. Okay. They slurp. Yeah.
It's called slurp?
Yeah, that's called slurping. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm going to show you this. This is a part of an American culture here, just because we mentioned this. Let me see if it shows up. Oh, no, hold on. I want to show you. Do you guys know what a Slurpee is? Have you ever heard of Slurpee?
No.
Okay, well, so you get to learn. It's kind of like a shaved ice drink, and it's sold at this 7-Eleven store, which is a gas station and a store. and it's something that's popular. When I was a kid, I wanted to have Slurpees. I didn't have them very much, but it's like an ice cold, sweetened, colored, you know, artificially colored. It's not anything good for you, but it's cold and it's called a Slurpee. And that's what you do with it. You slurp it like that. So I guess, yeah. So
the sound.
Yeah, the sound. So I guess, Alexandra, when you were in the United States, you didn't have any Slurpees. Yeah. Okay, well, if you're American, you know what a Slurpee is. So now you guys know a cultural piece of the United States. Slurpees, they used to be, I don't know if they're really popular now, but they still have them. So I guess they're flavored. So this is like a Coke flavored one, and there's like probably some different fruit flavored and that kind of stuff. But it's actually kind of gross. It's just colored, artificial colors and probably corn syrup sweetener and ice, you know? So there you go. Slurpees. Okay, Carolina. Hi, Claudio. Let me just say hi to Claudio.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, we're just talking about habits, and the question we're working on now, which Alexandra just answered, was are there any habits that bother you that other people have? So she mentioned slurping, when people, they drink something and they go like that. So Carolina, you're next. What is a habit that bothers you?
I don't know if this is the right word, but I don't like when people talk is spitting. Spitting?
Spitting while they talk, yeah.
Yes.
That's kind of gross.
I don't like when I was a reporter and I have to interview someone that spits a lot. Oh, it was very difficult.
Yeah.
Step. I have to move away.
Move away. Yeah, you had to move away.
Step behind.
Right.
To talk to these people because it was very difficult.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's especially interesting because your job, you probably had a lot of experience with different people, and certainly some people do that, especially if they're very excited or nervous or something. Yeah. Okay, Claudio, you're the next in line there. Are there any habits that other people do that bother you?
It's not an habit per se,
Yeah.
but some women use these bracelets, those bracelets that make sounds like when they move. I find that to be very irritating.
Irritating to you, yeah. The sound.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Some of those bracelets.
Yeah. Well, since you just joined us, I'm going to ask you, Claudio, do you have any bad habits? Some people, we already talked about some bad habits, like maybe eating too many sweets or staying up too late or different things like that. What do you think you have any bad habits these days?
Do you mean habits that some other people might?
No, well, a habit that you know you have, but that you think is not so good for you. That would be a bad habit. Like it's whatever you think might be bad for yourself, not what other people think about you.
Well, I have this habit. I like to stare at people, but I don't think that's bad for me.
You don't mind it.
No.
Somebody else might mind it.
Yeah, people don't like it.
Okay. All right. Good.
When I'm walking in the street,
yeah,
I like to say that I collect faces. I like to stare at people.
Well, okay.
I just like it.
Yeah, sure. You like to focus in. Well, maybe that's why you like what you're studying. Your specific branch of criminology and stuff. You have to really study people. So,
yeah. And when I'm talking to people, I like to really stare at them, and people are not used to it.
Yeah.
So they look the other ways.
Yeah, exactly. It can be kind of we say unsettling. Like if you don't know why somebody's staring at you and they're staring at you, you can become maybe a little uncomfortable. Like, what are you looking at? Why do you keep looking at me?
Yeah.
Okay. David, are there any habits that other people have that bother you?
Yeah, listen, could be, for example, is common. Well, for example, that people that has a cold, well,
Yeah.
they used to coughing or maybe sneezing very
Mm-hmm.
loud.
Mm.
Well, I can. Well, it's not a big deal, but when they don't use like a paper in their mouth
Or
or
a handkerchief or
uh,
something. Yeah.
yeah, or
Mm-hmm.
when they coughing or sneezing and they don't put their hands in their mouths or in
Mm.
their nose, well, I think it's a little bit irritating me for me. It's not that I have to be far a little bit from them because I
Yeah.
don't like it.
You have to move away from them too. Yeah.
Move away a
Uh-huh.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that the word in English at least, habit, is used a lot of kind of different ways. So a habit can be something you do kind of often and that you're aware of. So like, we know we eat too many sweets, or we eat something the same day or the same time every day, or we have a habit of jogging in the morning or after work, something like that. And then we have unconscious habits. So maybe sometimes people don't even realize they're doing that, but like you said, David, they do it. It's something you notice, like they're doing it and they're not doing something else. So it's kind of like a habit they have, but they're unaware of it. They're unconscious of it, and only other people notice it. So they might not even notice, or it
Yes.
might not be important to them. They don't really realize, like, oh, I could be doing something different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they feel normal. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
normal
usual
to
for them.
them. Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Uh-huh. Yeah. In fact, I found that the question that I was actually asking you guys is basically this question. Do other people's bad habits get on your nerves? So, Hussein, are there any habits that bother you that other people have?
Mm. Maybe touching a lot while talking. Some people
Uh-huh.
do that.
Yes, some people do.
Yeah.
Might be cultural too, so that's an interesting thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Yeah, well, that's an
Mm.
interesting point that you bring up, because sometimes it, like I was just saying, it might be the way you do things, and it might be like your habit, but it might be based on something like your culture or your
Mm.
family, the way you were raised in your family or something like that. So interesting. Do you find
Yeah.
that do men do that or women more?
Maybe if a man does that to me, I can feel it, and maybe a
Yeah.
woman, it can be good for me. I can like it, but if a man does that, it's really weird to me, and
Yeah.
I don't like it. And uh, for example, I think, for example, I've been in France, and in France, people,
Mm.
for example, they sneeze in front of everyone. For example, in class, I don't know, Lisa, you have been in France.
Mm.
I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
People sneeze in front of everyone. For example, in class, and they do it very um, loudly. For example, in my country, if you do that in front of everyone,
Yeah.
people are going to say to you that go to toilet or something. They
Mm.
they don't like it. For
Yeah,
example,
sure.
I think they have a cultural habit like that, and it's not very acceptable in my country.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, as you brought up, it can be changed for every society or every culture. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Certain habits might be actually cultural for from
yeah,
some places. Sure, definitely. And you notice them when they're not your habits, when they're not your cultural habits. They stand out
yeah.
more for you, certainly. So, my next question for you guys is: have you ever tried to let's see how to say it, like get a new habit, like make something a habit, like in one of our classes a while ago, we watched a video, and there was this guy. I'll try to find the link, but he tries to do a new habit every so often. And so, like, one habit he tried to generate for himself was like riding his bike to work. he wanted to make that a habit, and different things like going 30 days with no sugar. That was a habit he was trying to see if he could get into the habit of that. And he was thinking that it takes 30 days to either start a new habit or to stop a habit. Has anybody tried that? Alexandra, have you ever tried to start a new habit, something you wanted to do? Like, some people want to read every day for 30 minutes, something like that. That would be a habit. Have you tried that? Alexandra, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Have you ever tried starting a new habit, like wanting to make something a habit for you?
I can't think of anything right now.
Have you ever said anything like, I'm going to do this for like 1 month or something like that? Or 2 weeks or something?
But usually I say so, but it's usually about goals.
Yeah, short-term goals or...
Short-term goals, yeah. If you need to do something, you just set a goal, and you stick to this goal.
Yeah. Well, that's an idea too. Like, the habit doesn't necessarily have to be forever. You could create a habit. Like when you're a student, for example, you're not going to be a student forever, but you need to do well in school and get good grades, pass your tests. So then you start to make a habit of maybe studying every day, or make a habit of going to bed earlier so you can do better. And then that habit might change later. But we do call that like a habit. Like, I got into the habit of going to bed at 10 every night when I was studying, something like that, That's kind of what I was talking about. Where you created a new habit based on your lifestyle right now, for example. Can you think of anything like that?
I know that I've had some unsuccessful
trial and error
trials to go to bed earlier. But even if I don't have much to do, I can always
find something.
Yes, I can always find something, like let's check the email. Let's watch some trailers. And when you watch a trailer, you get interested. I can't wait till tomorrow. Let's watch the movie tonight.
Right.
So it all ends up sticking.
Yeah. Okay. Carolina, what about you? Have you ever tried to start a new habit? Like,
I am trying. I think I always try. I would like to practice exercise from Monday to Friday.
That's a good habit.
I'm trying to make this routine an habit, but it's very difficult. Do my workout from Monday to Friday, but I'm trying.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't have time. Sometimes I'm lazy. So I don't know.
Yeah. There's a book. I'll show you this thing. I read it before, and you guys might find it interesting. Even watching the video, I'll give you the link. But this guy wrote a book about the power of habit. Excuse me. And he kind of talks a lot about like the research that people have done on how to, either start a new habit, like a positive habit that you want to have, like exercising, or how to quit a bad habit, something that you don't want to be doing anymore. So might be something interesting to look at, because it definitely can be difficult to get rid of bad habits or to install new habits in your life. So, but there are some techniques, I think, that he says that are more beneficial. They help you get what you want more. Claudia, what about you? I know you've been really having like a lot of time studying and in your profession, and now you have an internship. Have there been any new habits that you've created to be able to do this? You know, studying and working and learning English and all these things?
Yeah, but they're not new to me.
Okay.
They're probably ancient, developed.
Oh, right, but sure, you didn't come up with them. You mean you didn't invent them? Yeah.
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 Trying to have weekly feasting, fasting.
Fasting. Oh, okay. Weekly fasting. Yeah. Is that something?
Yeah.
Is that new?
One day. Yeah, for me it's new.
For you?
Well,
Yeah, for you.
I've been reading about this. It's very healthy actually to have a interspersed,
yeah.
interspersed fastings one day a week, and not the whole day. You can do it 16 hours in that day, and once a week.
Yeah.
And it's very healthy.
Okay.
Because we're used to eat a lot and eat, and most of the time we don't actually need it. We just have to. We just feel that like psychologically needed to eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, sure. you learn to calm that bad habits.
Okay.
You can read about it. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So how have you been doing that? Have you been doing the fasting once a week?
Yeah, I've done it 2 days.
Okay.
2 times. Two times.
Yeah.
Not 2 days.
Yeah, you've done it 2 times. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, let us know how it goes. Okay, David. What about you? Have you ever tried to?
Yeah.
To have a new habit?
You don't starve, but you don't. When after the 10 first hours, you actually don't feel.
Yeah, you get
hungry.
used to it. Yeah.
And you can do it while you sleep. So if you sleep 8 hours, when you just have to wait for others 6 or 7 hours more, and there you are.
Yeah. Okay. David, have you ever tried to create a new habit in your life or start something new?
Yeah, well, Lisa, but I think I just have all once. Right now I don't have like an habit that I am trying to start. No, I think. Well, I have a couple that I start years ago. Well, for example, when I was younger, I start the habit of practice weightlifting, and actually works for me because I am still doing this nowadays. So I think the habit works for me very well. And I think the most new habit that I start was learning English seriously. So it's like attend classes here in Berlin. It's the most recent that I started.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of websites and applications and like smartphone apps that help you try to keep up a habit. Like that you can log in every day and you get like a 15-day streak, or you've been doing something for a month or 2 months. So yeah, Verbling is a good website to help you with your habit because you can come here all the time. Yeah, that's good. Awesome. Cool. Okay, Hussein, what about you? Have you tried starting a new habit, and how did it work?
Yeah, I tried to have a habit which is waking up very early, and I think I can do that. I'm generally not successful to do that, because I do not have a really strict sleeping time. I cannot do that all the time.
Oops.
And
So
it works sometimes.
it works sometimes and sometimes not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was doing that for about 2 weeks. I was getting up every day at 6 a.m. and I really liked it, but then I got tired, and so it only works if you can go to bed early enough. So it can be hard, but I like it. I think so. Usually you have to choose. Like Alexandra, you've chosen to be a night owl, and that works really well for you. And sometimes it seems like people have to choose one or the other, So because we do like to have that time where we can just do whatever we want and have it be quiet. Yeah. Hi, Humberto, is that you? It says Sylvia, but I think from yesterday, I think I remember it's Humberto. So I muted you before, but if you want, unmute yourself and then you can talk. Humberto, are you there? Okay. All right. We have time. Oh, there you go. Humberto. Hi. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. What was the question?
Yeah, the question is, have you ever tried to start a new habit, to try something new?
Yes. Well, I try to the habit of eat healthy, but I can't. I don't know why. Maybe
Yeah.
because maybe because I have a lot of friends that always I go out with them, and maybe we drink some beers, and that's one of the reasons that I can uh, take that new habit. But I'm trying,
Yeah.
but maybe in the future uh, I can get it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's you bring up a good point, and I guess I'm going to make that probably the last question that we can work with is, how do you think your friends or your family or your lifestyle makes you have good habits or bad habits? So, Humberto, you just mentioned that like you're trying to start a new habit, but it's kind of hard because your friends maybe don't have that same habit. So let me go. Yeah, so how do you think, like, what would be better for you if you really wanted to make a new habit? What could you do, or what would you have to do related to, like, people you spend time with or things that you do? How does
Uh,
that work?
I think it, yeah, I think it's only depends of me.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to do it, I have to do it. But
Okay.
but it's a kind of hard because if you maybe don't go out with your friends and get some beers, maybe they
Mm.
think that you're not comfortable with them,
Yeah. Yeah.
and but it's only depends on 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 you, and you have to be uh,
Like you have to
you
have
have
your
to
own willpower, maybe, or something, or.
yeah you have to you have to um, be hard.
Mm-hmm. You could say something like you have to make your own decisions and follow through, or to stick to your choices, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Alexander, would you agree with Humberto about that? That it's really up to you, and if you want to do something, you just have to do it, and it doesn't matter like about your friends or anything else.
No, I don't.
What would you say?
people have different willpower. Some people are how to say it, tend to I forgot the word.
It's late at night, so what they tend to what? What do you think? What's another way to explain?
I remember. Yeah. I was going to say that they are susceptible.
Oh, okay. Some people are susceptible. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people are susceptible to I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You'd better ask somebody else.
Okay, I'll go to Carolina. Okay, Carolina, Alexandra's getting a call. What do you think? Like, if you want to make a good, like, change a habit or stop a bad habit or something, do you think it matters about like your environment, who your friends are, who you hang around with, what you do, or not?
I think it depends on about our willpower, but sometimes it's a kind of
addiction. Yeah.
Addiction. Sometimes it's like addiction.
Yeah.
And sometimes this person needs help. Kind of therapy or something. And there are cases that's the bad habit is more than a matter of will.
Yeah.
Sometimes could be a disease.
Or
something. So it depends on each case, I think.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, it could be that it looks like a habit, but maybe it's really an addiction, and you might need like professional help, or there's different models of help, and so some include like a medical model would be like you need a medication, or maybe you need therapy, or stuff like that. Sure. Okay. Claudia, what do you think? Do you think your friends influence your habits?
Sorry, I didn't get.
Do you think that our friends influence our habits?
Yeah, absolutely. For the good or for the bad.
Or the bad. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because we have this herd instinct. And we tend to imitate, whether it's by choice or by design.
Yeah. Okay.
We're always following what people do, and our family, our friends.
Yeah. In the United States, we have something called Alcoholics Anonymous. It's called AA for short, and they have lots of other similar types of groups. And I have some friends who are in that group, and what I understand is one of them is like trying to be able to stop drinking as a bad habit, as a problem. You really have to kind of change your lifestyle, not just stop drinking. You can't really just go out and have a bunch of friends who that's what they want to do all the time and decide I'm not going to drink. It's really difficult. It's really difficult to change your habits, but that might also be part of the addiction too. So it's hard to know.
And you can switch. You can switch your bad habits into something good, going to run or whatever you want.
Yeah, you can exchange them maybe. Yeah. Focus in a different way. David, why don't we end with you? What do you think about friends and how they influence you? Do you think they influence? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Lisa, definitely the group that you are part influencing your behavior in certain ways.
Yeah.
Because, well, it depends if you are in a group of people that likes to go to party so much, well, maybe you are going to be a little bit influenced about that. And the same for the good things. But I think it's more easier to catch the bad habits, no? Because the goods are more difficult to follow.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the easiest way is the bad habits.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, I guess we'll end on that note. Let me just, remind you. There's this book. I don't know. It might be interesting. It's written for like non-scientists, so we call that lay people. It would probably be an advanced level read, but if somebody's interested, you could also check out his blog, and he has some interesting little stories about people who've changed their habits and things like that, including himself. But yeah, interesting topic. So thank you guys for showing up to class and participating, and have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Take care, guys. Bye, everybody.